Shir Nefesh HaChaim here in Yeshiva Tsama Nafshi. We're learning Nefesh HaChaim Shar Aleph Perek Tes. We're holding in the words here, the Chaim, the Kriyas Yamsuf. Now we're jumping to Kriyas Yamsuf. You all have it there?
Yep.
Can you have it there, Marcus Yam?
Yes, sir. Thank
Go
you.
ahead, read for us a bit if you like.
V'lachein ba'es kriyas Yamsuf. Amar hu yisbarach l'Moshe. Ma tizak elai daber el b'nei Yisrael. V'yisau.
Okay, stop there. So it says likewise, v'lachein, likewise. The ace at the time of Kriyas Yamsuf, at the splitting of the sea. Right? Amro Yisbarach LaMoshe, HaKodesh, the blessed be He, said to Moshe, HaKodesh Baruch Hu said to Moshe Rabbeinu, Ma tetzakalai, why are you crying out to me? Deber el b'nei Yisrael v'yasu, speak to the Jewish people and move on. You go straight into the sea. Go straight into the sea. What's this mean?
Ratzah lomar didahu talya milta she'im hema yu b'sokef ha'emunah v'habitachon v'yisu haloch v'nasoa el hayam.
Okay, so it says, what does it mean that when Hashem said, Ma titzakalai, why are you crying out to me? To Baal b'nei Israel, speak to the Jewish people, Yasu, and move ahead, move on, forward march. Ratzah la'omer, that means to say, V'didhu tal yimis, it depends upon you. Hashem was saying to Moshe Rabbeinu, it now depends upon you. Right? Shim hema hayu v'toykef hemuna ubitachon, if you're going to be strong, steadfast, utoykef, emuna ubitachon, if you're going to be steadfast in your faith and trust. Yisu, okay, go ahead.
Wait, I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Ma yitz ak elai. Now you're translating it as, why are you crying out to me?
Mm-hmm.
But lama would be why.
Mm-hmm.
I want to translate it as, just as. Because sometimes when you learn a Kol B'chomer, it'll say ma blah blah blah. And you translate it as just as blah blah blah. I want to translate it just as you're crying out to me. Tell the Jewish people to move forward. You know, it's not that it's wrong to cry out to me, but that you've done it enough.
What do you mean that you've done it enough?
You've done enough crying out. You need to stop crying out now, and you need to go ahead and act.
Right, now's not the time for prayer.
But I'm not saying it's not that you did wrong by praying up until now.
Yeah, well,
I'm saying you did okay to pray up until now, but now it's time to stop and take action.
right.
Rather than saying you did wrong completely. You never should have prayed.
No, that's not the point. That's not. Why are you crying? I mean, Rashi explains that your prayers have been accepted already. Now, how did Moshe Rabbeinu know that? Right? Not necessarily would have known that. And Hashem said, now the Baal b'nei Yisrael yasu. It depends now upon you. Okay, go ahead.
We got a good book, no?
What?
You said we've got a good book.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. I'm sorry, where are we?
Samuk.
The last line there. Yisu v'holoch.
Okay, thank you. V'yisu haloch v'nasoa el hayam. Samuch libam lo yira. Meotem bichonam Shavadai Yikara Leaf Nehem.
So what's that? What's it mean?
Okay. And will enter into and travel through the sea without fear, out of the sheer strength of their trust that it will certainly be split before them.
Okay.
Az Yigramu al Yedei Zeh Hisorarus Lama'ala Sheye'aseh Lahim Hanem
Hanes.
Hanes.
That's a summit, right? Not a mem sufi, right? Mem sufi has a little foot at the end of one of its circles at the bottom. Right? You see the next word, the two words is lifnehem. You see the mem sufi there? They look very much the same two letters. Hanes, the first word, right? Hanes, and then the last word there is lifnehem. That's a mem sufi.
My book's got to be misprinted.
Let's take a look.
You got to tell me whether I'm seeing this wrong or not.
All right, let's see.
Please.
What are we reading from here?
Okay. It's right there. Verse Lahem.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. Hanes versus Lahem. Those look the same to me.
Well,
The sun,
There.
got slightly curved out, the sides are slightly
like-
curved.
Okay.
It's very, very
They
slight.
look the same.
yeah, they're very much the
You've got to
same.
wear different glasses.
Yeah.
Here they're different. See, this is flat on the bottom and
Right.
this is round.
Right.
But your book
They
is,
look the same.
your book
Very,
is
very,
the same.
very close. Very,
Okay.
they're very slight.
This is not such a great book after all.
Okay.
Yeah, you see here, it's a big difference over here. Okay, so you have to be careful with that. Okay. Good.
The bottom right sort of chipped away a little.
Okay.
Okay.
I see it. I see it now, Roy. You're right. Okay. All right. So what does that mean? So Oz. Then this will cause a supernal arousal, which will be drawn down, and it will perform the miracle of the split of the sea before them.
What does that mean? Supernal arousal?
Okay, now Roy's going to explain that. Go ahead.
Okay, then if you want me to.
Sure. I'm looking forward to it.
What we're doing, so by going into the sea without fear and bitachon, then that's the actions of man. And remember, we affect the worlds above us. We affect the supernal worlds. Supernal means above, further
The
up.
spiritual worlds above.
Back to the Keruvian. Back to the Keruvian.
Well, even further up. Right, we can affect ourselves right up. Remember the shoe business? The foot in a shoe, it's just a little bit there, but the whole leg goes and the whole body goes right up to the very top.
Right.
So what we do here is going to affect up there, and then up there, and then up there, and then up there, and then up there, etc. And this will sort of alert the worlds above us that we've got bitachon, and the worlds above us are going to respond and perform the miracle and split the sea before us. But we've got to initiate.
That's the arousal.
Yes, we've got to
Us
initiate them.
initiating.
We've got to initiate them to be aroused by our actions. The supernal, because they've got the forces to do this. We haven't. We've just got the ability to tell them, look, we trust you fully. Now please come and help us. so they can now bring down their forces. And
So it's as though Hashem was saying, I can't help you until you do something.
right.
So go do this. And
we can't just sit back and say, okay, open it up for us and then we'll go through.
Right, but I'm saying the converse.
We can't say that. We've
It's
got
as if to say Hashem can't do it until we take our action.
And no, Hashem won't do it until.
Right. But Hashem is saying,
won't and can't.
I can't do it until you act.
Yeah. Until you show that you've got faith in me.
Right, by acting.
By your actions, show that you have faith in me.
Very good.
Here you are.
That's why you
did it.
right.
The rabbi had faith in you. Give me a hope.
Alright, well that's good.
Very good.
Now what does it say with the note? 244.
Well, does he have a note here? Yes. Okay, what did he say in the note?
It's a huge
It's a long
footnote.
note.
Huge.
Very, very long note.
Oh yeah, the Dalit? I have a Dalit here.
No.
Oh, you have something in addition to that.
I don't know to read it or not. You can have a look and you can see is it worthwhile advancing through.
It's here. Beginning here.
244. It goes there and goes there. I don't know if you want to
Spend the time.
It's a little bit,
scan through it. You've got the second one as well?
And that hadn't come yet. This one's the first one just came.
Where'd you get it from?
Amazon.
Oh, from Amazon.
Oh, and they shipped it to you? Amazon did?
Right to my door.
Wow.
A little bit deep.
Some things are available for shipping to Israel.
Some things, yeah, but usually books I found are not, so that's good. That's great.
Well, Israel is a Hebrew nation, so Art Scroll stuff, Israel probably doesn't care, which is why you can have stuff like this shipped. But if it's a Hebrew book, Israel's going to want you to buy it from the people in Israel that are publishing Hebrew books.
Interesting point.
But nobody in Israel is necessarily publishing English books.
Right.
But you got to give the people what they want, like the rabbi said earlier, so that's what Amazon's trying to
That's
do.
a good point.
Okay, let's continue on. Roy, you want to take over? You can read a bit. Oh. Yes.
Did you see the paragraph on the other side that
The
Roy showed you?
one on the bottom?
No, the one on the right side.
On the right side.
Up at the top, it says the beginning paragraph.
The top.
Well, let's see.
You just where it says the explanation is that under normal circumstances. The right hand side, down at the bottom, the very first beginning paragraph.
Right.
Here, the
Right,
explanation
yeah,
is.
okay. You want to read it if you want? You can read it if in English if you're interested.
The explanation is that under normal circumstances, action and prayer impact in a natural way within the natural order. The action and prayer of Israel have an effect on the level of Zeir and Pin, which results in a natural response. In contrast, for the supernal to occur, it can only be in response to a corresponding supernatural relationship between Israel and God. To invoke the supernatural, Israel must demonstrate a supernatural level of faith, which contradicts all natural rationale. Therefore, the supernal splitting of the Red Sea only occurred when Israel unwaveringly, actively demonstrated the supernal faith in God by stepping into the sea. It was only this action expressing their supernal faith, being specifically, quote, the matter which was in their hand, which could result in a corresponding supernatural bestowal of the level from above. Therefore, God says, don't call out to me to get a natural response, because this is not going to help. Just go, actively reach a supernatural level of faith, and this will invoke the required supernatural response.
Nice.
Very good.
That's nice.
Okay. Good. Good. Now we can follow suit with the next paragraph, I think. Zehu l'susasi.
You want me to go?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, cool.
Okay. V'zehu l'susasi v'richvei faro demisich rayasi. Rotze lomar kamo v'susei paro shehaya hefech minhago she'olam sheharochev minhig lasus ufaro v'chelo hasus highil thank you highig es rochvo kamo she'amru rabosenu Zikranam Livracha.
Okay, go ahead, let's translate that if you like.
Okay, this is, quote, with my mighty horses who battled with Pharaoh's riders, I revealed that you are my beloved, end quote. Meaning that, just as with the horses of Pharaoh, were in contrast to the norm, where the rider guides the horse, with Pharaoh and his army, the horse directed its rider from Chazal.
What's that mean? The horse directed its rider? What does that? I don't understand what that means.
It says that comes from Chazal, from
Right.
Shemot Rabbah B'Shalach.
Right.
Shir Hashirim Rabbah.
Okay.
We have to go there to find out.
Well, well, what do we think it means? What?
Didn't you say something about it being that literally the horses themselves went where they went, and the charioteers weren't actually guiding them. The horses were plunging ahead. Yes.
Okay.
The charioteers had no real control over it. I'm not too sure. I think we said something like that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
So, okay, so
Sounds pretty bizarre. How would the what are the riders?
I
What
feel
are the
the-
charioteers doing when the horses are going around?
hang on for dear life, I expect.
Well, it seems, in my thought, that maybe they were trying to get them not to go, and they went anyway.
Uh-huh.
It's like, hey, wait a second, you tried to pull up on the reins, there's water there. Don't go in the water, and then you went in the water anyway. Couldn't stop him, couldn't control him at that point.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was thinking.
so you have this great scene here with the sea opening, and so a human being seeing that. This is a little bit what the Gemara in Brachos mentions, that animals can sense things that humans can't, because animals not having intelligence will see things that could be frightening to a person with intelligence. So they see things that are there, and because they don't have an intelligence to cause them to be fearful. But a human having intelligence, Hashem saves him from seeing things that are there, because his intelligence would cause him to panic, right? So seeing a sea open up in front of you, right? So a human being would say this is a dangerous thing, right? It's like, just don't plunge into the sea, right? So, but the horses, right, not having the intelligence they maybe just see the,
An open path.
right.
So just go in the open path.
Go.
Don't think about the
Right.
how it got there.
That's right. So that might be the very basic understanding of what's being described to us over here.
That's interesting because I always had a little bit of a question. How can they be so stupid as to go follow into the sea?
Yeah.
It wasn't obvious that Hashem was doing a miracle here.
Yeah,
Maybe
well,
that's
look,
why.
Hashem was doing miracles for the 10 plagues for the last almost year's time now, and it didn't seem to stop him.
No, but it does, doesn't it? Doesn't what they say to Paro? How long are you going to go on with this?
Yeah.
So they were affected.
They were affected because but their leader wasn't. The leader was still staunch.
Right, but his heart was hardened.
Yes. So there's a different explanation of what does it mean his heart was hardened. The most explanation that is perhaps most revealing is that Hashem, in order to preserve his free will, hardens his heart. Meaning,
Right.
he obviously would have and should have and must have wanted to let them go immediately after the first plague. That's
Right.
the Japanese. They weren't smart enough to give up after the Hiroshima, so they had to have Nagasaki. Come on. After all Nagasaki. Oh no. Now they must have something. But the first bomb wasn't good enough.
Right.
When they have to have another bomb dropped on them for.
Right.
Don't you realize what happened to you already? So they weren't smart enough to figure out, like the war, just give up now. Oh, they want to fight a little bit more, they'll drop another bomb. So Pharaoh's the same way, like he should have given up after the first plague. And he had chance on his own to give up, but then in order that he should have at least a fair, intelligent choice in the matter, Hashem had to harden his heart to make it an equal choice whether or not to let them go or not.
Right.
So,
But I'm just saying that the Egyptian people were affected.
yeah, they were affected.
And you might say that if it wasn't for this fact that the horses were taking charge, that they would have said, "Wait a second, let's stop here."
Yeah.
Well, the horses just carried them through.
Yeah, but they got back at the ranch. They were getting on their horses on their own. They saddled their chariots and got onto their chariots.
Right, but that was before they saw the sea split.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I think it's the same thing as hardening Pharaoh's heart with the horses. Same difference.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Same difference.
Don't forget that the Jewish people, Israel, they had the emunah in Hashem, so they were able to, or we were able to go through, because we saw what it was,
Right,
but we had the faith,
right.
and Hashem demonstrated the faith for us. But the Egyptians had no idea of faith in Hashem.
Right.
They saw what we were saying. They saw the fearfulness of the situation. They couldn't do anything about it because their horses, who had no intelligence, saw a pathway
Right.
and followed through. But
Exactly.
they didn't have faith. So, if they had faith in Hashem, they would have gone through with themselves. They would have willingly
No,
gone through.
on the contrary. If they had faith in Hashem, they would have said, Hashem's doing a miracle for the Jewish people, we've got to stay out of
all
there.
right, okay. Maybe. Yeah, okay, yes.
I think we'll probably touch on these things next time. So today's Thursday, we're going to stop now. Is that correct?
Today is Thursday.